Welcome back to the Celebrial channel. Are you ready for a brand new story that might shake the industry today? Because what we're diving into isn't just drama. It's one of those stories that makes you wonder what's really happening behind Hollywood's glossy smiles. Today's tea? Ooh, it's messy, unexpected, and it might change how you see one of hip-hop's most talked-about couples. So settle in, because this one hits hard.
All of y'all, for some reason, when y'all are around certain people, y'all feel that y'all have this power.
It looks like Nicki Minaj is being painted as the villain again, but this time, she aimed directly at Gucci Mane's wife, Keyshia, and she did not hold back. Nicki straight up accused Keyshia of keeping Gucci sedated, and the way she said it, it sounded like she cracked open a secret that Waka Flocka tried to warn everyone about years ago.
Seen it with my own eyes when she was wearing that blue lipstick and mohawk and all that, when she came over there when Gucci was in jail and she came to pick him up from the house.
Fans instantly exploded online, convinced that Gucci's mind might not be fully his own anymore, and that Keyshia is quietly running every move behind the scenes, like some kind of puppet master in heels.
You know, allegedly, Gucci's wife, while he was locked up, slept with Yo Gotti, right? Allegedly. That's why he cussed out Angela Yee out, if y'all notice. By the way, Gucci, I love you so much. Like, don't ever diss me. I love you, bro.
The internet ate that theory up immediately. But here's where things get even crazier. When you line up Nicki's cryptic tweets with Gucci's old confessions about his mental health struggles, plus the Dark Brick Squad history, suddenly a twisted picture starts to form. It gives control, power, and maybe some manipulation mixed into a marriage the internet has always called couple goals.
From back in the day, and because of this, they re-signed with other people or whatever the situation is, and it pisses me off because none of them respects him. Or give him the credit like Gucci signed me. Gucci's the one that got me out the slum. Gucci's the one that changed my life. None of them talks about that. No.
Everything starts connecting back to one moment. Gucci Mane and Keyshia Kawar's appearance on The Breakfast Club while promoting Gucci's memoir. At first, it looked harmless. Jokes, smiles, perfect power couple energy. But then Keyshia dropped a bomb when she explained how she manages Gucci's mental health. She said, "I have a personal system."
For you, what was it like just trying to protect the business that you guys have built while
I have a
he's
system.
personally...
I take his apps off his phone. First thing I do, I delete Instagram. I delete everything. Even if I got to change his password, I'm changing it because I don't need the public to know he's having an episode. Mm-hmm. You realize you'd never know about any other episodes since September 13th because I control that. Because you're not going on Instagram, you're not going on Twitter, it's deleted. Mm-hmm. And I just control everything at home. And now before the episodes come, I catch it. So that's why he hasn't had another one. And how you catch that is he doesn't speak to you. He wants to be left alone. He don't eat. He does not sleep. Text messages, there's a period after each word. And I'm like, you're going through an episode. You're sick. No, I'm not. Ain't nothing wrong with me.
And that's when the vibe in the room shifted. Keyshia looked Charlamagne straight in the eye and said, "I have a system. I delete Instagram, I delete Twitter, I control everything at home." And that one quote set social media on absolute fire. People couldn't believe how openly she said it. But what came next? Pure chaos. Within hours, Nicki Minaj went nuclear on X. And trust me, she wasn't holding a single thing back. She blasted Keyshia like never before, writing, "Gucci's wife been trying to be me for years. Been chasing the spotlight for years. She's there to keep Gucci sedated." Fans went wild, trying to decode every word. Nicki kept going, accusing Keyshia of blocking certain people from being around Gucci. And suddenly the whole internet was convinced this drama wasn't just petty talk anymore. It felt personal, sharp, and aimed straight at the heart of Gucci's home life. Then Nicki raised the stakes and took direct shots at Charlamagne, calling him a fraud and accusing him of pushing shady agendas through iHeartRadio. She even claimed he'd been connected to messy situations long before this feud ever started, and that she was done staying quiet about it. She ended the rant with full force saying, "The buck stops here. Bookmark this. Bring it. Let's play." And that line alone had everyone screaming because Nicki made it clear she wasn't backing down from anybody. And just when people thought she was finished, she turned up the heat again, calling out LAPD over a swatting situation and demanding her label stand up for her. At that point, it was obvious this wasn't some casual celebrity argument anymore. This was a straight-up declaration of war. Nicki wasn't just calling people out, she was swinging at the whole system. Gucci's marriage, industry politics, media figures, even her own label. She challenged everybody at once.
Pastor Ross, Drake, Nicki, like all them people accepting my apologies, they just don't know. It's like a weight off my shoulders because I had been like, because I was wrong. Like,
the internet went insane. Fans were digging up old clips, posting screenshots, connecting dots, and arguing whether Nicki finally said what everyone else was too scared to admit. But the next morning, Keyshia wasn't staying quiet either. She jumped on Instagram looking unbothered, iced out, and petty fabulous, vibing hard to Cardi B's music right after Nicki's blow-up. Fans caught it instantly and flooded her comments with laughing emojis and, "Oh, she's shading Nicki" messages. The timing was way too perfect. People were like, "Hold up, what is going on?" Keyshia rocking with Cardi right after Nicki's meltdown felt like a full-blown declaration of war. It didn't look like shade, it looked like strategy. Fans started saying Keyshia was linking up with Cardi just to spite Nicki, and instead of calming down, everything got darker real fast. That's when gossip queen Tasha K slid into the chat and poured gasoline on the whole situation. She posted, "Word on the curb is Gucci wanted to mess with Nicki, but Nicki wasn't having it. So Keyshia slid in, cleaned him up, fixed his paper, put him on meds, and rebuilt him into the version she wanted." And the internet lost it. Some people said Tasha was just being messy, but others swore she was confirming things Waka Flocka had been hinting at for years. The comments went wild, people arguing, stitching old interviews, pulling up clips where Waka seemed uncomfortable, all trying to figure out if this drama was connected to something deeper. Waka Flocka once said, "No, I'm not. Ain't nothing wrong with me." And fans started digging up every old clip like detectives. People were replaying interviews, pointing out moments where Waka hinted that Keyshia might have been more of a handler than a partner, and suddenly everyone was connecting dots that maybe weren't supposed to be connected. Then came the real bombshell, the confession that made everybody freeze. In Gucci Mane's own memoir, he admitted something that sent chills through the internet. Keyshia had him committed once. Yes, you heard that right. Gucci said Keyshia and his 6 security guards basically took him straight to a mental facility. And while he framed it as a life-saving act, fans couldn't ignore that he casually used the word kidnapped to describe the moment. When people replayed the interview and heard him drop that word so casually, the energy shifted instantly. And once you add Keyshia's own comments about deleting his accounts, controlling his passwords, and managing his entire digital life, the whole situation started looking less like support and more like total control. And just when folks thought the rabbit hole couldn't go any deeper, old Waka Flocka clips started resurfacing. Back in the day, he hinted that Gucci wasn't the same after the Brick Squad split. And now fans are rewatching those moments with a whole new lens. Waka dropped a tweet years ago that suddenly aged like fine wine. He wrote that he never got paid for no hands. Yeah, that monster hit. Girl, the way you movin' got me in a trance. You know the one. Waka claimed Gucci sold out right after the success of that record. And back then, fans brushed it off as bitterness. But now the story hits very differently. At the time, people thought Waka was just stirring the pot, but he said something subtle that flew over everyone's heads. Gucci ain't running Atlanta no more. He changed after that girl came around. Allegedly, that girl was Keyshia. Now with Nicki's explosive posts resurfacing and the internet pulling up every old clip, fans are suddenly saying Waka might have been right all along. Some folks online even believe Keyshia has slowly isolated Gucci from 2 women who kept him grounded, Deb Antony and Nicki Minaj. When you line up the puzzle pieces, the forced hospital stay, the deleted accounts, and Keyshia's quote about controlling everything at home, it starts feeling like a textbook case of power and control. And that's why Nicki using the word sedated suddenly hits way harder, especially because in that same Breakfast Club interview, Keyshia openly admitted she manages his medication and said she can catch his episodes before they happen. For a lot of people online, that didn't sound like care. It sounded like constant monitoring. Then the whispers got louder. Former reality stars started talking behind the scenes, claiming Gucci's whole energy shifted after he got out, describing him as almost robotic. Like he's present, but not fully there. Old clips of DJ Academics resurfaced too, hinting that something about Gucci's comeback didn't add up. And then came the rumor that sent fans spiraling, claims that Keyshia allegedly stepped out on Gucci with Yo Gotti while he was locked up. At first it sounded wild, but fans started linking it to Gucci's old tension with Angela Yee, wondering if the drama had deeper roots than people realized. So now the internet is asking, could Keyshia's whole I control everything mindset be her way of keeping the upper hand ever since those days? But hold up, it gets even messier. Rick Ross's ex at the time, Brooke Kim, jumped into the mix and dropped a claim that made everyone gasp. She swore she saw Keyshia leaving with Rick Ross in a Rolls-Royce while Gucci was still behind bars. Brooke doubled down and said, "I saw it with my own eyes. She had the blue lipstick, the mohawk, all of it. And while Gucci was in jail, she came to the house and left with Ross." That one statement set the internet on fire. Blogs, fan pages, gossip sites. Everybody was talking like it was breaking news. Even though Keyshia clapped back fast, posting, "Ain't never had no dealings with Rick Ross, period. Keep my name out your mix-up." The damage was already done. The narrative was locked in, and fans started claiming Keyshia always had a certain kind of influence over the men in her orbit, whether true or not. But Nicki wasn't done with Keyshia. Not even close. She came straight for Charlemagne next. Nicki dragged him hard, calling him out as a Jay-Z associate using iHeartRadio to push industry agendas and messy setups. And if you've been watching Nicki lately, you already know she's been on a mission, exposing everybody, from Cardi to Jay-Z, accusing them of being tied to some bigger system that silences artists and protects certain players behind the scenes. So when Nicki hinted that Charlemagne was around Wendy Williams before her whole situation went downhill, fans connected the dots instantly. They remembered how Wendy's trouble started right after she began calling out big names in Hollywood. And suddenly Nicki's tweet didn't sound random anymore. People online began asking if Nicki was suggesting that the same kind of behind-the-scenes pressure Wendy allegedly dealt with might also be happening around Gucci. Nicki's point wasn't just that Keyshia was a jealous wife. She was hinting that Keyshia might be playing a deeper role, a handler-type figure, keeping one of Atlanta's loudest voices quiet. Social media went wild with that theory. One fan even tweeted, "I can't unsee Keyshia trying to look like Nicki, all while knowing Gucci wanted Nicki and couldn't have her." The drama was officially out of control. Some fans were convinced they knew exactly what was going on. One even wrote, "That's real tea right there," before adding that Keyshia was definitely doing witchcraft on Gucci for sure. Bonding spells and all types of ish. He's completely under her control spiritually too. He might literally die if he leaves her, but I'ma shut up now. The comment section went into straight chaos after that, with people arguing, laughing, and dragging each other nonstop. But on the flip side, plenty of people were still riding hard for Keyshia, defending her like family. One supporter wrote, "If you know Keyshia, you know she don't play about Gucci, never has, never will. This woman bathed that man when he was down bad. You think she'd ever let him go back to that mental space? Never." For them, it wasn't about control. It was about loyalty and standing by him when nobody else did. So now the internet is split right down the middle. Team Nicki versus Team Keyshia, a full-blown culture war playing out in real time. Everyone's arguing over who's really telling the truth, while Gucci himself stays completely silent and out the way. But fans recently pointed out another eerie layer. When Keyshia launched her Kawar Cosmetics line, those promo photos started looking way too familiar to some people. They pulled side-by-side comparisons with Nicki's Pink Friday era, and the resemblance had the internet talking. Same latex-style outfits, same Barbie pink color theme, same over-the-top glam vibe. Now, people are saying Keyshia wasn't just inspired by Nicki. She was mirroring her whole image, move for move. Some even claim her connection to Nicki runs deeper than shade or competition, like she's been following Nicki's blueprint, the glamorous woman who dominates in public but moves like a CEO behind the scenes. Except this time, Nicki is making it very clear. She's not letting anyone borrow her identity without smoke. Nicki doesn't see any of this as empowerment. She sees it as manipulation, plain and simple. When she said, "The buck stops here," that didn't sound like anger. It sounded like a warning, like she's ready to expose everything if she has to. And knowing Nicki, if she's sitting on receipts, text messages, old studio conversations, or anything from those Brick Squad days, this could reopen some of the messiest wounds Atlanta's hip-hop scene has ever seen. Let's not forget Gucci once publicly apologized to Nicki, Drake, and Rick Ross for dissing them during what he called his episode. But now, with Keyshia admitting she controls his online access, fans can't help wondering. On one side, Nicki's still being painted as the villain, dropping subliminal tweets, firing off sharp shots online. On the other side, Keyshia is out here flaunting her marriage, posting luxury photos, smiling for cameras, and keeping Gucci close like the prize she believes he is. Meanwhile, Gucci's memoir is climbing the charts again, fueled by all this chaos circulating his name. But one thing's for sure, and two things for certain. This feud isn't just about jealousy or fame. It's about power, control, image, and the question everybody's asking: who is really running who? And if Nicki ever decides to drop the receipts she keeps hinting about, whew, this could blow the entire lid off how industry power couples really move behind the scenes. So now I gotta ask, what do you think? Is Keyshia really controlling Gucci? Or is Nicki stirring up old flames for attention? Do you think there's truth behind Nicki's warnings? Or is this just another Hollywood clash? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear everything. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell, because this story is only getting crazier from here. See you on the next one.